full-blown acceleration here. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going to be going over a 2022 Honda Civic Si. A huge shout out and thank you to the Stockton 12 Honda here in Utah for giving me some time with this Civic Si, and this is actually personally owned by one of the staff, so a huge shout out to John who owns this car for giving me some time with it. I really appreciate him letting me review his personal vehicle. So like I said, their inventory is going to be in the description down below. Let's hop right into the review. So under the hood, we have a turbocharged 1.5 liter 4-cylinder that goes through a 6-speed manual transmission. Fuel economy is 27 around town and then 37 on the highway, with power outputs being 200 horsepower and then 192 pound-feet of torque. Now let's go over the front end of the Si. We're going to start over here with the lights because they are timed and they'll pop off in a second. So notice we got the LED accent light with the reflector LED headlights. I think it looks really good, and this is just a part of the new Civic. Now popping down from that, you guys can see the accenting here at the bottom, and then notice how the whole front grille is blacked out. We have our little Si badge right there. You've got the blacked out Honda logo, and you know, overall, when you look at this car, you know, other than the Si badge, it just looks like a regular Civic for the most part from the front end. You can see it's a little bit more aggressive there at the bottom portion, but it does definitely have that kind of stealth type appearance. Now going over the tire and wheel setup here, we've got two 35mm tires wrapped around 18-inch wheels in the front and over in the rear as well. And then we do have a limited slip differential here that comes with the Civic Si that's part of the handling. Now, moving on from that, you guys can see here with the design on the wheel, it looks really good. I definitely love the satin finish on it. Definitely makes the wheel pop. On camera, it doesn't pop out too much, but in person, it does quite a bit more. I love how the mirrors are blacked out and then all the trim around the windows. And then John did add some window tint on this car, and it definitely does kind of improve the appearance of the car. Kind of gives it more of that like Stormtrooper look, right? Where we have the black and the white. But anyways, that's your full side view. So here's the key fob for the Si. You've got the Honda logo there on the back. You've got the unlock, the lock, and then the opening here for the trunk area. And it pops it open part of the way, but then you have to do the rest of the work yourself. So you just lift it up. Pretty simple. So we are not going to rummage through John's stuff here in the trunk. All you guys need to know is you can fit some golf clubs back here. So this is golf rated. Anyways, closing that up, you guys can see the rest of the rear here. I love the spoiler, how that's all blacked out. And again, John actually blacked out the badges on this, so you can see the Honda badge has been blacked out. I love the dual exhaust tips on either side. And then you have the new Civic Si, or just the new Civic taillights rather. And then you've got the Si badge there, Civic badge on the other side. And yeah, overall, this car just, it looks really good. Now here's the door panel in the rear. You guys can see the padding right here on the side, and then I really like this trim around the window control. Love the look of the door handles. And guess what? You can also fit a car seat here in the back. So even more practicality. You can go golfing with the buds, and you can take the little kiddos around. I am all about that. So you guys can see here with the red stitching, and then you've got the rubber floor mats as well. And just like a regular Civic sedan, it has the same amount of space back there. So yeah. Now here's the door panel at the front. I really like this trim piece right here. And then again, you've got the cloth here with the red stitching, and then you can see that piping kind of continues up there. Front two windows are automatic. You got the mirror adjustments. The mirrors do have blind spot monitoring. And then here are the seats at the front. It says Si on it, and then you've got that really cool design all down the center. And then you can see here with the red stitching, seats are manually adjustable. And then here are the pedals, which look really nice. You've got the stability control. This is for the safety tech. Steering wheel is manually adjustable. I love the red around the vent. You guys can see that whole switch system right there. And there's where we'll look before we pop in. So here is the steering wheel with the Si. You can see you've got really nice leather all around the steering wheel. You've got red stitching here on the center portion. This does have adaptive cruise control with the steering assistance. We have our voice command volume controls on the other side, turn signal light stock, windshield wiper stock, and that's all for the steering wheel. Now here is the center gauge cluster for the Civic Si. You've got the full digital gauge cluster. I think it looks fantastic. I love how you've got the red accenting within the gauge cluster itself. And look at that fuel economy that I just skipped through by accident. 28.4 miles per gallon on average. And you know, John does have a little bit of fun with the car, so that's really good fuel economy for being able to have fun with it. We do have some different drive modes. So you've got your sports, individual, and then your normal mode that you can go through from a drive mode perspective, and well, that's all for that. Now here in the center infotainment system, first off, we're going to go over the backup camera. So we do have trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel, and then you have a couple of other camera viewpoints you can go into. Aside from that, as for the rest of the infotainment system, first off, response time with the screen is fantastic. I mean, even though I'm wearing gloves, it's able to pick it up very well. You've got the kind of like analog buttons here on the side, and I'm glad that Honda gave us like physical buttons for this, so that like you can always just have something physically to press to like do the shortcut to the home screen, for example. But yeah, that's all for the infotainment system. So we've got little vent controls here with the hazard lights, and you guys know I'm a huge fan of this, and then just how the design continues, and then the red trim also looks great. And then you can see the climate control down below. Single zone climate, it's not a huge car, so you don't need dual zone. And then you've got the charging ports down here, some extra storage space. And then we have our drive mode select here with the auto stop start to turn the on or off, parking brake, brake hold. And then we have the shifter for the 6-speed manual. Now we'll talk about this more when we drive it, but the throws on this are phenomenal. Definitely one of the best manual transmission shifters out there. And you guys can see more cup holders here. We've got the center console again with all of the stitching, all that fun stuff. And then we actually get a sunroof too, which is another nice feature to have. So here's a window sticker for the Civic Si. Feel free to freeze the frame if you want to read the equipment that this has. This is the standard stuff on this, and pretty much everything's standard here with the Si, which is great. You guys can see the base price there, and then after all options, $28,710. Let's take it out and see how it drives. So we're setting off here in the Civic Si, and funny enough, this is actually the first time I have ever driven a Civic Si. And you know what? We're gonna pop it into the sport mode because that is the way to go. So initially setting off here, it's really smooth. It's very, very smooth, really comfortable as well from a ride quality perspective. Steering's amazing. Yeah, super direct. And yeah, it's actually pretty easy to blip as well. Yeah, with the downshifts, this is a really easy car to drive. I love the throws with the shifter as well. Just really nice, short, notchy throws. You instantly know that you're in gear and all that fun stuff. And yeah, it's super easy to tell with that. Seats are really comfortable. They're very nicely bolstered. They hold you in place well, and they're comfortable too. Like, this is a great daily driver car, actually, from a comfort perspective with everything that they have going for it. I'm super impressed. So we're gonna get up and moving here. We're going to get our full-blown acceleration here. So something I do want to mention is this car, when you are accelerating and you're shifting gears and everything, wait a second after you've shifted and release the clutch to go into the throttle again. It kind of it takes a second. Let me know. I don't know why that is. There's nothing wrong with the car. It's just how Honda has it set up. I kind of remember that in the Type R a little bit too. You just have to do like complete lift off when you're shifting. But yeah, it's super smooth. Sounds cool. Yeah, the rev match downshift is fun. This is a really cool car. Yeah, man, this is gonna be an interesting one. Yeah, turning's great. Yeah, so you just full lift off for a second, and then you can dive back into the throttle. So what do you call it? Like, you can't flat foot shift at all. There's no play with that, which is okay. Let's sum things up. First off, I think that the new Civic's a really good looking car, and the Si just kind of adds this level of aggression to it. So I love it. I think this is a really good looking car. Interior wise, I love all the red accenting. It's a nice looking interior, especially considering the price point. And then you get the safety tech, and then you get the performance and the shifter and the feel and everything. This is a fantastic car for under $30,000. This thing is amazing. You know, from like a performance car perspective, I mean, yeah, you got the new Subaru BRZ and Toyota 86, but those aren't practical like this. I don't know any other car that really, you know, competes with this in my mind. For this price, for the practicality, for the performance, for the driving feel, this thing is amazing. It is such a blast. This is the type of car that you could have so much fun on your daily commute. You could take it down a back road and you can use it as just like a daily driver car. Yeah, Honda did such an amazing job with the new Si, and with this new Civic that is smoother, more luxurious feeling, it really helps out with this Si package because it makes it even more daily drivable. But this feels just as capable from a sports car perspective. And so, yeah, just nothing but good things to say about this car. Now let's get some things up for a video on this 2022 Honda Civic Si. Again, a huge shout out and thank you to John and Stockton 12 Honda for giving me some time with this Civic Si. Check out the inventory in the description down below. And if you're looking for a new Honda, right, ask for John. I'll see you guys.